Let's move on to understanding the concept behind demand supply. What's a false top, false bottom that I'm going to share with you very shortly. So in our methodology, we believe that accumulation process is basically a hidden process, okay, that the market maker use to manipulate the public to sell or cut their positions, right? And as we all know that the market makers, we cannot see exactly what is their position. We are unable to see. No one can actually see the actual position. But based on how they move the chart, we can do a best guess of whether they are causing traders to cut losses or to turn short based on how they move the chart, right? For example, if you can see that majority of traders are putting stop loss, they are, who are long are putting stop loss, and the market maker actually chase to take their stop loss. What kind of conclusion, right, can you actually derive from such events? Right, you can actually derive that there are signal that the market maker may be actually trying to establish long positions because he wants to move up later on. So we call this accumulation process, and we have this process called the distribution process. Basically, this is how the market maker would want to manipulate the public to buy or cut their short positions to him because he wants the price to come down, right? If you are the market maker, for example, if you want you want to come down, bring the market down, right? Later on, what should you do first? You should give an impression that the market is going up, right? Do breakouts at the key LP levels to bluff traders to go long, right? So that you can actually establish a short positions against them, okay? So demand supply, maximum demand is public demand causes market makers book to turn short. They have strong incentive for price to come down. Maximum supply turn the market maker book net long. They have a strong incentive to move the prices up later on. Okay, and the fundamental principles of market manipulation is this. We all believe in our methodology is that the big boys, the market makers, or the hedge funds, they all have one common goal to manipulate the rest of the trading community, basically to achieve their end goal. They are not there to market make for charity, right? For free. They make the markets for profit. So it is of utmost importance to use a strategy, right? To basically give yourself a best chance to identify their their incentive in the chart. Okay, because the fundamental principles of economics is that incentive drives their behavior. So if the market makers is accumulated long, that means if they have long the positions, and for example, if you are long the positions, you will want the prices to go up. Am I right to say that? And if you are short the position, you would definitely want the price to come down. So identifying the interest of the market makers is of utmost importance. And this is actually how I make a lot of money actually trading the markets, whether to establish, as I'm doing this video, the market is actually coming down and I establish very good positions in stocks, right, that I'm going to hold for long term because I can actually do a best guess of where the market is going to stop, where good companies are going to pause and move back up later on when everything is done and dusted, and the market will eventually move up higher and higher as what it has done in the last 100 years. You can use all this in that you learned in our methodology, not just in trading, swing trading stocks. You can use it in investment. You can use it in short-term trading and so on. It happens in all time frame, any time natural time frame that you trade. Okay, and the thing is this, right? I look at charts for many years. For a good part of my career, I look at charts. I spend a lot of time, a lot of screen time to look for patterns, look for uh, patterns that I can trade and churn out profits from the market as a professional trader. And there's one thing that I concluded after looking at so many thousands of charts is this: all majority of chart patterns basically are double top and double bottom levels. Majority of the chart pattern comes from double top or double bottom levels. And the main thing is how you identify what's a double top and how do you define a double top and double bottom? And with this one, I'm going to share with you later on. Okay. So whether to long or short, we will decide whether using our strategy patterns or structures at this junction. Okay, like I mentioned, as of this junction, the learning objective is to to understand the significance of what we call a false top, false bottom first. Okay, before we go into what's the strategy structures to trade. So there's three different types of double top, double bottom levels. Okay, so I'm going to share with you this. Okay, what's a double top? Like I mentioned, there are different traders, right, that you actually meet will give you different interpretation of what's a double top and what's a double bottom. So, is this a double top, guys? Let's say this is a market, it went up, swing high level. So this is the swing high level, because it forms a what? It forms an N shape or inverted V shape. So this is your swing high. So if the price goes up and reverses near there, is this a double top level? Is this called a double top? Okay, so this is the first option. Is this a double top? How about the second? There's also such a formation like this, right? For example, from swing high, price goes back up. This is swing high level. Price goes back up and touch the swing high level and comes back down. So is this number two your swing high? How about number three? There's another type of variation of double top. You can actually see that okay, again there's a swing high. This is your top level, the swing high level, and the price goes up and then comes back down. Basically, the price goes above and beyond the swing high level, and comes back down. This is actually what we are looking at in our price action manipulation methodology. This is what we call a false top. And basically, false top, you want to see is a special kind of double top where prices goes up and beyond and comes back down. So what's the significance? For example, in this chart pattern, right? For example, this chart pattern number 3, right? Take a look at number 3, right? For if the price is coming down, sorry, just let me take away this line here. Price coming down, okay, price coming down, price income. If when the price is coming down like this, right, there is a bearish impression. For short sellers who short the chart when the price is coming down, where do you think they'll put their stop loss? Yes, they're going to put their stop loss somewhere above the swing high here, agree? And for those who put their stop loss, what kind of stop loss do you think that short traders will put? Short traders are going to put this stop loss called a buy stop orders. Understand? So there is basically in this above the swing high level over here, in our methodology, we believe that there's a cluster of buy stop orders out there in the market above the price, just above the price level. And when the price actually moves back up above and beyond over here, above and beyond the swing high level, what kind of traders will come in? Yes, right. If the price break out the swing high level or the resistance level, right, breakout traders may come in, right? Because they thought that the price has this impression that it's going to break above the level. Breakout is coming. Traders tend to go long, right? So you have a group of traders, right, who I call them the breakout traders. So you have a combination of the buy stop orders that's being triggered when the price goes above the swing high levels. It's going to trigger all the buy stop orders, and it's going to, because of the obvious movement, the green bar, when it break out from the swing high levels, is going to cause breakout traders to go long, right? Thinking that the price may continue to go up. So basically at this level over here, there is a significant trigger of buy orders, right? There's influx of buy orders, stop loss, buy stop orders being triggered. Breakout traders are going long. So in this area of the chart above the swing high levels, this is when we say that there is a maximum demand. There is maximum demand. Okay, when there is that maximum demand because of the influx of buy orders, who do you think is on the opposite side of all the traders, right? As we all know, the market maker make up more than 90% of the liquidity in the market. They make the market. So if there's a maximum supply, a maximum demand, buy orders coming in, market maker is net short, in our opinion. So there's a high chance that the market maker is net short if he do this thing called a false stop. So a false stop to us is bearish. A false stop to us is bearish. Okay, again, as of this junction, we are not yet going into the strategy structure yet. But over here, the learning objective is to understand what's a false stop first, the significance behind what's a false stop. When we go into the strategy structure, there are many other things like majority flush, what's the number of bars, do bar counting, what's the criteria for the false stop, and so on that will come into place. Okay, we're going to go step by step. Okay, we're going to cover that later on in a subsequent video. So over here, understand that false stop is basically market makers establishing net short positions is bearish. That's when maximum demand occurs in the chart. Okay, when just above the swing high level. Okay. So what's the double top? So by now you should be aware that number one, this is basically a type of the swing low over here, right? Swing low is like a U shape or V shape, so this will be a swing low here. So let's say the price goes very near, then rebounds, right? This is one type of double bottom that traders actually identify. There's also another second type where there's a swing low and the price comes back down and basically touch and rebounds. Of course, the third type by now you should be aware is that we want to see that, okay, this swing low level is being breached and then the price goes back up. We call this a false bottom. Okay, just let me we call this a false bottom. BOTTOM, false bottom level. Okay. So what's the significance of a false bottom when you see this in the chart? So false bottom is when before the false bottom, right? Let's say this is like the chart coming down. You see a chart that's coming down and then you do a rebound and the price goes up. When you see the price going up, there is this thing called a bearish impression, right? The price going up. Some traders, because they see that the price recovering, what do you think they will do? Some traders may go long, right? They may go chase the stock and go and buy because of the buying impression. Where do you think the long traders who buy will put their stop loss? Yes, they're going to put somewhere at the low of the swing low over here. So just below the swing low is where stop loss like sell stop orders. So for traders who are long, their stop loss orders is called a sell stop orders. They're going to put sell stop orders just below the swing low. That's where we in our methodology we identify as a high probability situation where stop loss will congregate. And when price comes down, when the market maker later push the prices back down, right? Those who long, right? Of course they will freak out, and they will tend to, for traders who tend to trigger their stop loss when the price goes below the swing low level, right? And not just swing, those who are long will get stop out, right? Some traders will go short, right? I call this the breakdown traders. Yes, the breakdown traders will see that the support is broken, right? They may go short as well. So in this region, this is where we say that, right, just below the swing low levels, this region is where maximum supply will occur temporarily in the chart when this thing happens, this false bottom happens. And when there's maximum supply, this actually turns the market maker net long and is bullish. Because if there is an influx of self orders triggered by the stop loss and traders turning short, who's the other side, or we call them the counterparty, right, absorbing all the sell orders? yes, right, the market makers is going to be the one who absorb all these sell orders, so that now he's turning back long, right? He understands, hey, everyone is cutting the positions, I'm going to turn long. His incentive is if it goes back up, there's a high chance that he may continue to move back up in the chart. And this is what we see in some of the examples that we cover earlier on as well. Okay, as you can see, just let me just go through. Like this example, right? The market maker chase for stop loss just below the swing low level, do a false bottom, and then the price goes back up. Okay, this is an example where the market maker chase the top, the swing high, take away the swing high stop loss, do a false stop, goes above and beyond the swing high, and then comes back down all the way. Okay, so this will help you to look at charts, charts and identify all this price movement more clearly. Okay, so this example, GCO is example. So basically, as you can see, this flush up that we covered just now as well, right? This is to take away the stop loss over here that is congregate at the top. This is your LP levels. So the LP level is very important. This is where stop loss congregate, market maker take out stop loss over here, and then trades back down. This is called a false top scenario. Right, a false top is meant for price to come down later on. And for example, you look at, let's say, Facebook. So I was long Facebook in 2019 and make a lot of money from this big swing trade that I did in Facebook, right, before the market actually came down. And how I decide to go long on Facebook is basically to identify false bottom levels, right? Of course, using our structures. So you can actually see that there are signs of false bottom going on here, right? The swing low, false bottom, price goes below the swing low to take out the stop loss, right, and cause traders to cut, which forms the bottom, right, the top. So this is the false. Okay, I'm just going to define this as a false bottom scenario because it goes below the swing low and then goes back up. Same for this, goes below the swing low and then goes back up. This is a false top scenario. It goes above the swing high and comes back down. Again, this is a false bottom scenario as well. Goes below the swing low and then goes back up. Okay. Right here as well, right, in shaded area is goes below the swing low level and then goes back up, false bottom scenario. It's very subtly go above the swing high level, comes back down, false top scenario. Very subtly goes below and comes back up, false bottom scenario. Okay, so this is your false bottom. False bottom scenario. This will be your false top scenario. Okay. So I hope you have learned basically understanding what's LP levels. So this is not something that you would actually learn in traditional support and resistance. The LP levels that we cover basically is the prelude before we go into the structures. These are levels where stop loss are taught to exist by players in the retailers in the place, by retailers in the market, and these are region, as you have by now you have learned that these are regions where manipulation takes place. And the concept of double top, double bottom, false top, false bottom, which is a special kind of double top, double bottom that professional traders like us will look out for. So next time I mention what's the LP levels, false top, false bottom, you should have gone through all the examples here and be able to identify them. Okay, so we are going to cover more on what is the structure, the criteria in the subsequent lessons. All right, I'll see you soon in the next lesson.